Okay, let's see. I'll wait for a second to for Astro to come back. Because I froze. Let's see. Okay, hello, hello. Thank you, I appreciate that. My, yeah. Yeah, we are. No, it's my phone, like, will randomly, at least, like, once per live, just, like, reboot. I turned off the refresh on my phone. I think it just overheats sometimes. I have one. But I don't, like, I'm not a vapor. I saw that last, comment. But I have one tattoo on my side. Um, but yeah, I just don't like anyone who just trying to build their business on slander and the hatred of somebody else. Like, when has that ever worked? And also, if she was good enough at, like, understanding the baselines of like astrology being such a core component, like, you know, Pluto and Aquarius, does that teach us nothing? So that just, it's kind of is just giving, like, I'm cosplaying human design reader and not actually looking into, or maybe, you know, not caring. I mean, there'll be people that like that level of, like, agitation or strife or creating that, but I just don't believe in building, like, you know, that leads me to look directly at, like, nervous system dysregulation and, like, immaturity, and even maybe being, like, a immature aspects of Aries Saturn placements too. But it depends. I also see, like, there's one lady that I had to block. Her name starts with a B. I don't remember what her name actually is, but, like, every time, like, I've seen she was just, like, going around, and every comment on other human design readers' posts was, like, trying to take them down. And I was like, how about you understand that, like, as a projector, it's not about correcting people where you're not invited to correct them, but, like, making a piece of content. And I said this to Guy too, like, instead of going around and, you know, spewing more hatred or anger, make a piece of content showing that you're better and not bitter. So yeah, rather than guy specific HT. Wildish, ironically. Well, that leads me to believe that maybe she doesn't know more than that. You know, like, maybe it's just, she just does, like, energy type readings. But I don't like that. That's just, like, it feels odd with projecting her own beliefs and experiences. I want to send you, yeah, feel free. Send me her profile. I just don't want her energy around me. You know, like, but yeah, you can send me the profile just so I could see, like, just to have it on my radar for, like, up so other people don't get, like, you know, my Pisces Aquarius. But, like, I you know, why give somebody like that more energy? I just feel bad for you because, like, you guys got, like, the swindling. But I mean, I'm sure there were things that she said that it just, like, statistically they're true, but I don't like that. Like, I don't, it just feels like I literally have, my stomach feels, like, queasy. Like, that's how I feel. It's like, oh, like, this energy does not feel good. So yeah, and I think for you and Guy, like, there's no reason that you can't be the next Chris Brennan of your generation. Like, I think that at the core, if I had to say anything to you guys right now with, like, what I know to be true and how I also felt, like, we're not too far apart in age, but, like, the ages that we are different enough. And Tarun, I'll answer you in a moment. But like, give yourself some more credit, you know. And I said that to you, I remember the first time that I met you guys on live, like, and just saying that, like, you know that you hold that frequency of being more important than the eyes of the internet are validating for you right now, but don't let the numbers dictate like how you should feel confident in yourself and what you practice. It's like, it's not, there's room for everyone. And I will tell you, like, being somebody that's worked in the arts and music management industry, like, after a while, people start to get bored. Familiarity breeds contempt. It's why, like, when people obsess over a celebrity for a long period of time and then they watch that celebrity so closely and they do one thing that they don't like, they turn on them really quickly. It's because there's certain people that have that type of, like, obsession, but then those people will also, yeah, of course. Listen, Pisces Sun, Aquarius Rising, Scorpio Moon, you already know. But yeah, it's just those types of energies where I just allow yourself to take up some more space. And I think, like, not being afraid. I think that also, like, there's a lot of generationally speaking for you guys and being more sensitive to the internet, there's like more of a fear because like you just feel like you're being watched all the time, right? So it's like, but anybody, the posting on the internet inherently comes with a level of combative energy. Like there's always going to be people, like I just went up to 21 and down to 8 here. Like there's always going to be people who are not going to understand you, who are going to disagree with you. And a lot of what I've been talking about, which is funny because Deanna, who's one of my projectors, that was on here yesterday, we were talking about in her realm of work, she wants to talk more about like scripture from the Bible, but she doesn't believe in like the religion of Christianity that way, but likes using some of the verses for empowerment, like any other quote, right, is like one of them. And so she was saying, like, I don't want to battle with Christians all day on the internet. And I was like, well, you already know, right? And like as a guy, as a projector too, and generators and projectors, you guys are very similar. And I probably said that to you guys too. You're more similar than people would understand sometimes. But for me, like I look at it as, I know if you know that you're going to post tarot cards and biblical scripture, there's going to be people from either camps who are going to be looking at it in like a confrontational way and immediately are put on the defensive. But like inherently posting on the internet comes with some sort of friction. And so I think the biggest mantra, if I could give you one that I've given to a bunch of people, myself included, is that it's safe to be seen by people who don't like me. It's safe to be seen by people who don't understand me. And it doesn't have to feel like you, it's like figuring out how to make your nervous system feel stable and knowing that like, if you're dotting your I's, crossing your T's, you know, people like aren't necessarily going to come to your house and find you, you know, and I think like finding that kind of, are they crazy enough? Are there people out there that will do that? Yes. But like, you know, whatever proper precautions you have to take to know that you can take up space too, is important. And I think like, you know, Chris Brennan was also just a person that started where you were at one point too. You know, I'm just a person that started and was like, you know what, I deserve to take up space. I have this interest. It wouldn't be on my heart for no reason. And I'm more concerned about coming into contact with my people from all over the world. Tarun from India. You know, we have Vasu from Bhutan, like other people who are in here from other places of the world that, you know, I'm interested in connecting with. That's why like I felt a little stagnant on TikTok a little bit, right? So I was like, okay, how do I change up how I show up in the space? I'm only 2 days a week, not 2 days in a row now. And then coming onto YouTube more because I just find it like I need novelty as I'm Aquarius rising, right? So Mars and Mercury. So like I need the novelty. I need to keep my mind like Mercury on my ascendant retrograde, you know, also in Aquarius. I need that mental stimuli. So, you know, for you guys, and this is my second live. So, well, we started from the beginning. So pretty much the second one for January 21st, if you want to go back and listen to this. But yeah, I think just allowing yourself to figure out whatever it is that you need to do to claim your space a little bit more. So, yeah, it feels like Tech CEO. I'm writing this down. I love this. Tech CEO talking about life. Because really for me, like if I'm being honest, like human design is like, you're welcome. Like I know so much more than just human design, but there's other just like life experience that I had from like being unafraid to go after it. Because it's like there's a lot of people that like anyone who's judging you for anything that you're doing is never doing more than you. And I know that sounds like such a cliche and it can feel corny, but it really is true. I will never forget you, Tarun. You're so sweet. Yeah, I appreciate that. Likewise. But, you know, I've never been people that have something to say on the internet can usually barely put a sentence together, you know? And it's like just remembering that, like, that, you know, I sometimes when people say things, I'm like, I don't even remember. Like, I don't actually, I know that I have gotten negative comments, but after a while, I forget actually, like, what they were, you know? So it's like, I think that, you know, we put Pluto in Aquarius, Age of Aquarius, is going to help us to remember that we're all just human beings that are trying to make it in the world, you know, in whatever way. And we all need to be available more so to our local community. And I don't mean necessarily like physically in person. You know, your career can certainly be supplemented by that tenfold, but like your community on the internet. Like for me, I'm very Scorpio Stellium, I'm very comfortable blocking people, and it's a way for me to keep my account public, but to not, you know, anytime that I have somebody that I don't like that I want away from me, I'll just block them. And if they want to turn it into, you know, making it something of like, oh, well, I won because like she has blocked me. It's not, for me, it's not about that. It's like, I want my account to stay public and I just don't want you in my space. So, you know, if they want to find me on other portals and they have that variation of obsession, like that's a lot, you know, for somebody who claims to be, you know, so perfect in their own way. But like, you know, it's like when you really look at people objectively as a whole, outside of the internet, and kind of like just rolling back from our tech for a second and looking at the world objectively, like people are just people, and we all at our core really want the same things, it's just to feel happy, to be healthy, you know, to be able to go on vacation, to go on a cruise, you know, and just really understanding that like you get to curate what that looks like for yourself too. Yeah, exactly. We should be careful whom to bring in, whom to bring in, whom to not. I agree. Like, not everybody is meant for you, and that's okay, right? It's like there are people, it's like the Dita Von Teese quote, where it's like you could be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's just going to be somebody that doesn't like peaches. And I know we know these things. I think that, you know, as individuals, we just have our own entry point of how we need to hear the conversation or hear the same lesson that makes sense in our language, you know? So it's like for you, I think of like if Chris Brennan is like your Yale University Reach School like application, it's like start to look at, you know, you got a piece, we love you, there you go, thanks Clash, hello. That's such a funny point for you to enter in, hello. But yeah, it's like that type of, like, what's your entry point to understand that? So if Chris Brennan is like your ideal peak of what you would want, I would go to his page, I would click oldest on his videos and then see when he started. And if you see that his first video was 15 years ago, you know, make this your year one so that 15 years from now we can look back and your YouTube could be the same way. But it's like you can't get, I spent a lot of my 20s getting worked up about where I thought I should have started, you know, I should have gotten the internet at 14, like, it's not letting yourself get worked up about what you haven't done up until this point and like executing even at 50% capacity. Yeah, listen, my Scorpio is like, where do I go back and find all the data, right? To just see. And then I say like, okay, Chris Brennan, I look at his oldest YouTube video and already it's like the production quality was really good. His views were up. There were a lot of subscribers, like tons of comments from 15 years ago. That tells me that he didn't actually start on YouTube. He actually picked another portal, say like the astrology podcast, and then it was a domino effect. So like for me, right, it was easier for me to build YouTube, not from scratch as much because I already have 17,000 followers on TikTok, right? So you are an example of, you found me on TikTok, you're my overflow to YouTube, right? So when this portal gets bigger, you'll see that like there's a certain level of engagement or people that I had as an overflow because I started with one. And I think that, you know, not being afraid to energetically, even it's not energetically, but like in the sense of attention, but like putting more effort into one portal isn't always a bad idea. Especially now, like you can go back and download all of your TikTok comments and cross-post them here as shorts, right? Like, so thinking about that as well, like just constantly asking yourself, like, how can I make this easier? How can I make this smarter? Or how can I be smarter? is always something that's like so key with strategy. So yeah, tech CEO is on fire, giving life lesson, great autobiography, life with me. Thank you. Your wisdom is infectious. Thank you. Well, because I care about like helping people be better, you know, I just like I've done a lot and I've tried a lot, and even though I'm, you know, young relatively speaking, like um you know, being in New York for a while and going to school there and living there for a couple years, like that alone will change your perspective, and like just being with so many different people and being in that energy of like, I think even we can cultivate the spaces like you guys feel here today on the internet. Like I'm going for my dreams, like, and I believe that everyone has the opportunity to do that as well. And it's understanding like what are your personal limitations, if it's money, if it's your home life, if it's a country that you were born into, and figuring out whatever it is that you need to do to overcome that. Like anything that you're going through that's a negative experience, the outlet to that or getting to the other side is just, it's just on the other side of information, and just figuring out whatever it is that you need to do to get that. So if your limitation is anxiety or fear of being perceived, you know that your next step is working on, hi E-Class, your next step is working on your anxiety. Your next step is working on, you know, whatever it is that you need to do to like work through that. And that's your next kind of like step in the game of life. So, you know, it's like, I don't believe that we incarnate here for no reason. But really figuring out like what is it that your life purpose, your life's task is for this incarnation is key. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, city girl. Yes, city girl through and through. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not like in New York City, but like suburbia. So it's in the middle. Likewise, I'm in the middle. I'm in suburbia. I'm not full blown country girl. I like my peace and quiet, but I also love the city. So I can go back like relatively often. Just takes like a little over an hour to get there. But, yeah, northeasterner, so that also changes things too. But when we're, you know, for any of us that are in the US that are close to a coastline, like the sea, or like even the border up in North US, like close to like Chicago or that area of the world, like the best word I can describe like coastal United States people, if I had to like give it a blanket, is more industrious. Like there's more, you know, because it's where people come in from other parts of the world, right? Or where different people immigrated from. So there's more exposure to different ways of culturally thinking about the world, right? Like different ways, like you could go to on the East Coast, you know, with New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, like Philadelphia being the main city in Pennsylvania. That's the biggest city. Like you can have different neighborhoods, that Dominican food, you know, different variations of African food, different countries in Africa, especially like Northwest Africa. You know, like it's very diverse. So it leads to a little bit more of a, you know, go get 'em, everyone's here to fight for their dream kind of energy. So I feel like, and listen, some people can be born in those areas of the world and just be like, you know, they're content. But there's certain people that like, I definitely consider myself an ambitious person. So I tend to attract people that also have a desire to be ambitious too. And I know what it's like to not, you know, I not be born into crazy resources, or what we call like Nepo babies, you know, to not have that and to have to build everything yourself. So I think that that's also something that's important to consider in your life too. Again, like where are you at? What is it that you want out of life? And there's no reason, like you don't have that desire on your heart for no reason. Whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to see, whoever you want to be with, like those things are all possible. So just giving yourself the courage to do that. Oh, I love it. Yeah, for protection. Oh, no, look that up. I love that. Rudd Raksha. Yes, that's so funny. I was just thinking of these the other day. Tears of Shiva. I love that. I'll have to look in that too. Oh, blueberry beads. Oh, I love that. Okay, more like in the US, I've heard them as mala beads, more so. I love that. I'll have to look at where I can get some. Thank you. But yeah, always doing like I'm very geared up for my own variation of protective rituals, protective items too. Lord Shiva. Okay, I did a quick Google search and I just read what it read what it said. Yeah, it said Rudraksha beads are sacred seeds from, and then the very specific name tree known as Tears of Shiva, used in Hinduism and Buddhism for spiritual practices like meditation, japa, and protection, believed to offer healing, focus, and positive energy due to their unique electromagnetic properties. I love that. Yeah, I can imagine the fake ones are there. Mildly off topic, but I forgot to tell you from the other day, I did get diagnosed by the ophthalmologist, oh my god, with an eye condition. And it turns out the universe has been presenting me with opportunities to, to see in a different way. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Pursue oh, I love that, which I never would have known about. Oh wow. Okay. So this is just like actually going to ophthalmology. I love that. Wow. I mean, listen, our life is like such a constellation of all of our different experiences. I'm sorry about I don't love the diagnosis for you, but I love that you have the opportunity to kind of look at it in a different way. Lord Shiva. Okay, let me see. Lord Shiva. Nama Shiva. Okay, I'll look that up. I'll bring it up after 1001 times chanting. I see it on YouTube here. It's like wow, there's a lot of streams. 25 million, almost 26 million. Hi, Guy. How are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm sorry about your experience the other day. I'm like, oh, God. Yeah. And I think it's more like even more so like I consult with people on like a rotating basis, but like very rarely like I feel like you guys are you start to realize like to not give so many other people that power, right? Like for me, it's like, who do I actually like to be around? Or like for me as a reader, I'm like, if I don't know something, my ego isn't big enough where I can't go to my resource and say, wait a second, we at least know where to look for it. And I know you guys are similar too, because you have that very like we all kind of have like that scholar's mind. Like we're very scholastic, where we're like, we love I would have hung out with you guys in the library in college, like that type of energy. Like where do we have to go to kind of like find the data? Like I could picture myself so like instantaneously like being at like a research center, like so that and I think like I wonder if there were any inklings of, I think if I had to guess, right, in my channeling, that there were probably some variations that felt valid because there's areas of your life where full circle you both also feel slept on, and it's just a matter of like feeling that and saying, you know what, that's an indication that I know that I deserve better and I deserve to show up for myself better. And instead of aligning with forces that confirm one variation of my reality, how do I use that and say, okay, like I feel like overwhelmed, or I feel a little just like upset about, not like I'm happy that other people are successful, but like if you have the mindset of like when you see somebody else that's successful, your reaction is like, oh, like I feel that frustration, that's a sign to get off and work on strategy. Get off the scrolling, or pause what you're working on and think about, okay, in this moment I have a choice to then say, how am I going to show up for myself? Maybe it's going to any content creator, someone online who helps people be better content creators, right? So yeah, and that's a normal human feeling. I felt that way. I'm sure in the future I'll feel that way at one point again, at some point in my life, right? But that's an indicator that I'm doing something that I have control over to make myself not feel this way. You're going to say to yourself, not on the phone that I pay for. I'm not going to get mad by what somebody else is doing on the phone that I pay for, right? It's like you have that opportunity to, and thank you, Tarun. Yeah, like research your way to something that just feels a little bit more empowering. And I think that's where like I've really been thinking a lot about the Uranus and Gemini transit, and a lot of what I've been channeling about that. And probably in some other areas. And listen, my sun, my Venus, and my Saturn are all conjunct in the second house, right? So it's like that, it's like learning self-worth, or it took me a little bit more time to get there and learn boundaries. And now I'm so ready for Neptune and Saturn to be in Aries. But even within that, as an Aquarius, it kind of is always flavors that I experience things in a little bit of a different way, right? Excuse me. So as I'm kind of going into, oh, I forgot what I was going to say, like that kind of, with Uranus and Gemini, I've been thinking about how we're really looking at, we're going to use our phone, like when we used to have like a computer room that we had to go to, and we had to delegate like TV time, computer time, not binging that, like, a whole series. It's like, we're going to start to pivot towards like creating analog habits in a digital age. I'm going to write that down because I want to use that. I'm going to write that down. So I actually made another TikTok about it, which I'll probably talk more about, but I've been thinking a lot about that. Yeah, I had never had an HG reading, so that made me want to study human design just to confirm it was wrong. Yeah, I understand. Well, the thing is, like, it's like just how if I were to use astrology in comparison, like, that's just somebody who's bitter about what they didn't have in life. And you can take the same thing with astrology. So it's like when you see Amy Demure, right, on your For You page spewing, so I work with multi-million-dollar businesses, like whatever, whoever, I think that's her name. I blocked her a long time ago. I think Amy is the main one that I can think of that's like the pop astrologer. But it's like, just because I had a bad experience with one astrologer doesn't mean I'm going to look at you as Guy and say that. And technically you have had a human design reading because you paid me to do one for you, right? So it's like that mentality is like, just because just because I had a bad experience with one man doesn't mean that I think that all men are bad. So it's like that all or nothing mentality also leads me to see something else different in that too. And you're smarter than that. Lovingly, I say that too. You're too smart to get wrapped into that trap of what the rest of a lot of kids your age are acting like, and you're not a kid, but there's a lot of immature energies that, don't, if you sit in shit, you start to smell, and that's a sign that you need to start to think and rise above it too. And I say that, in our small space in a way that you deserve to be seen better than that, truly. Tech CEO has astrology features in it with life mantra speech. YouTube will be a perfect moment. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I just know, like, I can just, like, I've had variations of the same experiences. Like, I've been there, myself for different reasons, where it's like, Jenna Zoe, I did a certification class with her and I went through all the courses and I was like, wow, when I compare this to the book, like, I didn't pay for, you have to learn the difference between paying for somebody else to do it. Yeah, please use it. I say it all the time. If you sit in shit, you start to smell. My circle is small. I'm alone a lot. Like, I love my introverted time and I don't spend a lot of time focused on what other people are doing. I'm more focused on putting out content and executing. And I have clients behind the scenes. I just onboarded a new client to help them use human design and astrology to build their standard operating procedures for their business. So it's like, I met that person through the online portal, but then, whoever I'm mentoring or helping work on their stuff behind the scenes, I don't need external validation from the internet to prove that I know what I'm doing. So that, I think also considering, like, really what you're still in that process in our 20s, we usually are, of figuring out what actually fulfills us in terms of validation. And so, there's nothing wrong with, like, allow yourself to figure that out for the next few years, right? But as somebody that's closing the end of my Saturn return, my nodal opposition, and, like, getting more serious about that during my nodal opposition or nodal return, I always mix up the two. But our 28 transit, like, that, to me, if you learn that, it makes your Saturn return a lot easier. So, I think that, opportunities to just, like, get offline a little bit more. So figuring that out. No, you're fine. I know. I wouldn't have expected you with that question. I'm basically a spiritual strategist, if I had to refine it to 2 words, but I do astrology, human design, and psychic mediumship. So a lot of what I do is focus on, I work with very logical people who are also happen to be spiritual and help them refine the strategies of their life. So I do readings, also on YouTube as a content creator and TikTok. And then I do a lot of back end, like working with businesses and mentorship too. And then some in-person events to supplement. Yeah, have you been to Hollywood or been to an Eminem concert? Or your favorite singer, actor? What about Malibu? So I have not been to California, actually. And I've not been to an Eminem concert. I've been to concerts, though. I don't know if I don't really have, like, one favorite singer in particular. I've been liking listening to a few of Joe Keery's songs, who is DJO, the end of beginning, that, like, is kind of popular in the US right now. And yeah, it depends. It shifts on my mood. But yeah, I encourage you guys, like, whenever you start to feel bitter, right, Guy, that's a huge word. It's like wherever you start to feel bitter, just be worried about being better, because it doesn't look good. Like, people don't like people who build their businesses on resentment and out of spite in a negative way. I'm an Aquarius rising. My husband's an Aquarius. We do a lot of things out of spite to prove people wrong. But, like, I'd rather, you know, you might as well be the National Enquirer or a gossip column if you spend all of your time thinking about what other people are doing wrong instead of focusing on what you can do right. Because if you can focus on what you're doing right and proving that you do know better, then you get the recognition, and you don't get the recognition under somebody else's name, right? So it's like, if you spend so much time critiquing other people, that's right. You know how many bullshit human design readers and negative things about astrology I see every single day? But I don't make it I deserve to be known for more than that, because I have so much more to offer than being worried about what everybody else is getting wrong. So I think that there's huge data in that. I love Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah, Megan Fox, City Sweetie. Oh, City Sweetie's your crush. Yeah, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, very American. That's common, yeah. Yeah, and I actually think that was the case with the other reader. A lot of hatred and bitterness towards people and towards generators. Yeah, because she's bitter that, like, she's hung up on thinking that, lots of translation. Welcome. She is hung up on thinking, like, and it's literally the not self theme, or when you're acting out of alignment as a projector, if you know nothing else, is bitterness. So I'm like, if the call is coming from inside the house, right? So it's like, if you are with somebody, it's like if you were with a generator or a manifesting generator, if I was on and frustrated all the time, we all have moments of bitterness or frustration. Those are normal human emotions. But sitting and being okay, doing a reading for somebody, from a point of bitterness and resentment for what other people are doing, is sad. Like, I would ask for my money back, but like all seriousness though, I would take that as a sign that you guys, are, like, focus more on what it is that you want to be known for, and less about what everybody else like that is doing. Yeah, I failed my exam. I know it's not the end of the world, but when you work hard for something and you don't get that shit, yeah, of course, and it's hurting me bad. Aw, I'm sorry. I mean, listen, I think that one thing I can say that really helped me, and I don't know what level of school that you're in, but when I was in college and high school, get to know your teacher really well, and get to know, like, because when you study for something, I would basically look at, yeah, she's not confident in what she is teaching you at all. That's sad. I'm glad for you, but that's also sad. But she's underconfident and over delivering, because she doesn't feel like she knows she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, because no one would give you a Google Drive of information, and you shouldn't need that. The reading should be good enough where it leaves you with something to marinate on after. But I'll pin that for a second just to answer. But get to know your teacher or your professor so you understand the way that they speak. Because they're going to write the test not as objectively as you think that they would. So understand, like, the types of things or the questions that your teacher asks you in class is going to be the way that they also write their test, in theory, if they're the teacher that's actually writing their own tests. So, it's like, just start to get to learn, like, their specific language and the way that they teach, and that can also be helpful. and show that you care. Show your teacher that you care, because, you know, we can have really hard subjects. Like, I'm not good at math, for example, or I can be good at math, but it takes me a longer time to learn. Like, I used to have to go to get tutored for math, and, you know, it just took me a little bit longer to learn outside of an hour and a half, 90-minute class. So just know, you know, it's okay to have to need to study a little bit more for certain things than that. Yeah. In India, we treat and greet everyone by saying namaste with folded hands and touch elder feet. Oh, to get blessings. I love that. Yeah, it was a college entrance exam. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, so that's like, just doing that alone, like, there's so many variations of questions that you could have, right? So just taking your time. And I also encourage you, if you can, like, get a tutor or have somebody specifically, even online, that teaches you about what you need to do or how you need to study for a college entrance exam. Sometimes the books, like, if you, like, I used to get a book from like Barnes and Noble, it was way too overwhelming. Like, there were too many like potentials and not enough of like, okay, what is it that I actually need to focus on instead? For me, I did community college for 2 years, and then I transferred because it was actually much easier, and it was a lot more affordable. So I did it that way, which also eliminated an area of like stressing about a 4-year college. And then I got accepted into a really good school in the US. So yeah. Oh, I love that. Hundreds. I love that. Yes. I'm just going to close my blind so I can see a little bit better. Okay. I flipped that guy, right? See if there's the sliver of light. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. I'm just curious, like, to see if anybody else has gotten bamboozled. I'll be shocked, honestly, just by what you said. I mean, obviously they haven't come up in my For You page, because that type of energy, or maybe they have me blocked because I'm a manifesting generator. Who knows? But yeah, I claim no negative energy from that type of person. I'm sorry you guys got, but it's a good lesson in like using your discernment and knowing to trust yourselves more. And that just because one astrologer says something wrong, or one human design reader makes you feel one type of way, doesn't mean that everybody's bad, right? Just because I had one bad experience from one bad person doesn't mean that all doctors are bad. So like, you know, sometimes you have to kiss a couple frogs to be able to find the right people. And I think I should be testament to that, you know, for you guys having an alternative experience with a human design reader. So yeah, but good luck. I'll see you guys soon. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, Astro. I'm still going to be on for a little while longer, but I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, those of you who are hopping off now. See you soon. I know, Benny. I'll go up and get some water in a second. People say NYC subways yeah, they really do. Yes, the subway's in bad shape. I actually, when I go to the city, I just drive my car. I'd much rather drive than take public transportation in the city, and then just park in a parking garage somewhere. Like, for me, that's more worth it than having to take the subway. But I don't live there, so it's different. Like, for me, it's like when you drive in the city, if you live there, it's expensive to have a car in the city because you have to keep it in a garage somewhere. But yeah, just a regular little car, like a regular 4-door car. So, you know, it's like I don't have like a very expensive car, so like I'm not worried about that. And I also used to work in insurance, so I know a lot about how to handle situations like that. God forbid something happen. Yeah, you're living. Oh, thank you. Oh, Mercedes G-Wagon? Yeah. I mean, listen, if you can do it, you can do it. But it depends on what your budget is and what you value. That I don't need, but thank you. My husband would gift me with one if I needed one. I actually don't like the look of them. They're not my favorite car. I think a lot of people see the Kardashians with the G-Wagon, and that's why they tend to like them. But just because somebody has money to buy something doesn't mean they always have good taste. I like to buy things that I like because I like them, not because it looks cool for me to have them based on other people, you know? Okay. Yeah, I know. Listen, more power to them if they found a way to do it, right? Like they got themselves in a good position to be able to do that. So I say don't hate the player, hate the game. It's not how I would like to make money, right? But I can respect the hustle. Okay. I am going to write out my little show notes for my video that's going out on Sunday. Until February 1st. That's actually crazy. The worst summer of my life. Yeah, but the most money I ever had. Yeah, it was this past summer. Why was that? I mean, I feel like working all the time alone will do that to you, but so I've been loving, like, I don't know if you guys follow, like, what Big Law is, but basically, like, in major cities, there'll be these, like, large corporate companies, like, tech companies, that have, like, 200 lawyers, like, on staff. And basically, they work, like, 12 to 14 hours a day. Like, they'll leave the office at, like, 11 p.m., and they'll go, like, home and then work until 2 a.m., and then, like, they'll go back, like, a couple hours later. It's so crazy, but like they make like great money. Like starting salary is like $250,000 US. February 1st, Sunday. flip this guy in a second too. My little timer hourglass. Happy Tuesday, Cassandra. How are you? How are you? It's nice to see you. I have to respond to your email. That was on my list of things to do today. I included this week some more of the astrology transits for you too. With that in mind, I filmed the video today, but I have to I'm about a week ahead, so I have to, whenever I get feedback, it usually is in the video 2 weeks after. But I try to make adjustments as I go along. But thank you. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get water and a cup of coffee, and I will be right back down. Alrighty. I am back. Thank you for your patience. Oh, Cassandra, yeah, I'm excited to read whatever you said. Okay. Oy. Oh, okay. Happy Tuesday. I'm well. Energetic. Yeah. Oh, I'm well. How are you doing? I'm good. Yay. I'll be looking forward to seeing it. I can't believe I haven't watched your Energy of the Weeks. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it can be. Yeah. Correction. Happy Wednesday. No, listen, I didn't even catch it. I said happy Monday earlier. I'm like, what is time? I feel that. I'm gonna try my hand on the. Oh, golden milk latte. I love that. The first time I had that was in Brooklyn, like literally in 2016. So like that's such a nostalgic latte. And also cookie butter. I had that for the first time around 2016. And my hyperfixation has been the Biscoff, like making my own Biscoff cookie sandwiches. So I have like one of these a day now. A sweet treat to get us through. Always need one. I'll turn up our music here. I'm gonna make my Substack. Oh, my tablecloth got here. Yeah, I agree. I love that. She changed from a summer's day. I love that. That's so niche. I love that. You know, I'm trying to think of some other. I mean, just the smell of the ocean, because I grew up on the water. Well, I love the smell of gasoline. Like, the airport used to smell like gas before, like, there was, like, more, regulations around, more regulations around, you know, emissions and stuff like that. Those kinds of smells, which is funny. Flip this guy over, right? Hello, hello, welcome. Bad handwriting. You have bad handwriting or I have bad handwriting? Good boy, Benny. My good precious boy. Wow. Okay, so looking towards the year ahead, talking about the astrology transits, July 4th, so literally on Independence Day this year, we have a Mars and Uranus conjunction in Gemini. So I'm so curious to see what that looks like on the world stage, if you will. That's going to be a crazy 4th of July. Stay home on the 4th of July. That's actually wild. Yeah, right? I'm literally doing my research of like plugging and playing some of for the transits. It is like, I think because so many people are drinking and it's just like people are a little bit more reckless. I had some crazy like last 4th of July we actually got into a car accident. Thank God everyone was okay. But I was just like, yeah, I just want to like be relaxed. Or was it? No, it was two years ago. 4th of July we got into a car accident. Some guy that didn't have insurance sideswiped us and like during the rain, and my husband is like really good in like situations like that, and I am too, but like it was like nice to have him. Lots of collective healing. Yeah, I know. And thankfully it was just like a fender bender, but it was like it was raining and he was driving like way too fast, and I was like, he's just an idiot, you know. But you know, he ended up having to pay for it. The insurance company went to court to get the money back, so it worked out in our favor, all things considered. But you know, you just are happy that everyone's okay in moments like that. But people are crazy. Yeah, right? It's like, especially here driving, like everybody thinks that they're more important than everybody else. Like everyone thinks that they have better places to go, faster places to be. I can't believe tomorrow's Thursday already. I feel like I just got on here on Monday. Seriously though, I told my husband it's like the weeks are flying but also feeling long. Yes, I agree. Not something I've ever felt before, fast but long. I agree. I think like how do I word it? It's like we kind of all feel a little bit collectively suspended, and we're all going through the motions, but we feel like we are on this like radical precipice of change in our world and not really knowing what that change is going to look like yet. Like, even though, you know, I can predict some things with astrology or make like educated guesses, it really is about like there's so many different people with free will and their own mental health and or lack thereof, you know, that are in positions of power in the world, that are, you know, our neighbors or people that we drive by in the street, that like it kind of all it's like 50% of the pie with the transits. And I really feel like, you know, at some point, I don't know what the bubble is that's going to burst, but there will be some sort of like bubble. And maybe it's a balloon that's slowly leaking right now, you know, after the birthday party, and we're watching it kind of dwindle. But yeah, I don't really know how else to put. I feel like because with a lot of us, hello, there's not we're just not supposed to know everything, right? And I feel like the more that I know, and this is very Pisces of me, but the more that I know, the more depressing it could be sometimes. So it's like I try to leave enough for myself to be surprised by life, which is important. So yeah, I like to know enough to be informed and to enjoy my life, but I find that like, okay, I clock in for 2 hours a day on here, you know, that checks a box of personal satisfaction for me, like an intrinsic motivator. I do it because it makes me feel good. It keeps me on task because I get to be with you guys, and you also want to be, you know, feeling good and kept on task in a space that feels comfortable and safe on the internet, you know, because we can't be together in person or create our own office. We can just do it virtually. So, you know, things like that. And then like knowing like, I try not to binge too much TV anymore, for that reason. But yeah, if you look at, I have another video where I show my office space. I'll show you my cat. Hold on. He's a little right there in the snow outside. But I have another video on my page about that too, about creating an altar space. Yeah, I forget what I was saying. But yeah, the days are definitely going fast. We have a Mercury-Pluto conjunction tomorrow as well. So that'll be interesting. Just keeping an eye out for people who are feeling a little bit more aggressive too. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly the feeling. I second that. Yeah, they're just staying in the loop enough to know, but not knowing all the things. Yeah, I hear you. I know. It's like I just want to be properly informed so that I can make informed choices and impactful changes throughout my day, but not so much where I feel like I'm constantly like, okay, and then at 12 o'clock, this transit's gonna happen, so I have to rush and do this before 9. Like, it's like if we learn to just trust ourselves and supplement with astrology, that's the best thing. We never want it to be like a tool that makes us feel like we're living outside of our present moment or our body. And that's like practicing that grounding is important. It totally. Plus, I feel like I'd be a full-time job to watch that. Yeah, exactly. It pretty much is. It pretty much is. But the painting is The Birth of Venus, by Botticelli. Hi, Evie. Welcome back. Yeah, it's like when you have one of those moments where you look back and realize it aligned with astrology. Exactly. And that's what I like, even as an astrologer, I like that more. I like to go back and affirm like, oh, but I always know that if I really, really, really listen and I'm comfortable and confident with my decision, it never steers me wrong. There's people who don't need astrology to get to the same feeling, right? It's just a matter of like what lens can we get to learning how to trust ourselves explicitly and know that we've got us as individuals at the end of the day, and who can help us, right? Like for me as an astrologer, human design reader, and an intuitive, right? Like I know that I trust myself and know where to look for the right resources. And it's for the people that also like to use human design and astrology as their tool. That's what I like to do to help them, right? So for those who are not interested in those tools, they'll be helped by somebody else, right? Maybe it's like, I think of like Alex Hermosi or somebody that's like a motivational speaker. They like that vein. But I'm not looking to convince anybody of anything. Like if they believe in what I like and they like the way that I teach it, that's what I'm open to. Because that's the way that I am also, right? Like I just like the people that I like, and I'm not worried about trying to prove, other people wrong at the expense of my well-being. So important for personal discernment. Are the doctors searching for you right now? Yes, always. They're always looking to find me. Don't let them find me. Hello, hello. Hi, Joni. Welcome. I'm writing my Substack article for the day. Maybe I had a dream a week ago. My summer of the dream was like the final sand. Ooh! The flip now leads to the final grain of sand leading to a new time shift as the infinite sign we are. I love that. I love that, especially because I have my hourglasses here. I mean, you obviously know I love that. And I really feel that. I wonder, like, oh, like, you have to keep a dream journal. You have to keep us posted of your dreams, too, because what a fun, cool thing. How, like, prophetic they may be. And I can see, yes, you can. I had to restart my live, so my little question box went away. Yeah, EB, that's so cool. I actually went to school with somebody, who went by EB as well, so that's so sweet. That's the only other time I've ever, connected with an EB, which is 10 years ago, 2016. It's crazy. Substack done. Oh no, I'll be back on tomorrow. I was like, wait, do I have to... 2016. It does. Well, there's been a lot of, because it's like 10 years since that, I just keep mentioning it because it's also on my For You page of a lot of folks like going back, oh, Kylie Kitten. Oh, I love that. Her and Benny doing the same things. Like, Mommy, pay attention to me. But yeah, 2016, I forget what type of astrology was also happening back then. I would have to look at that. But there's like was a boosted sense of optimism for a lot of people. It kind of felt like, I mean, 10 years ago, you could apply to any job and you would get an interview with a real job in a real city. Now it's like so many people struggling to even find a job in a corporate setting. Like, you can't just apply. I was just in the city on Sunday for my mother-in-law's birthday, and we went to see a Broadway show and go out to dinner. And when we were walking, we got dinner at this restaurant around Bryant Park, and we passed the Indeed headquarters, like their corporate building. Hi, Raul. Their corporate building. And I was like, the fact that they even have a corporate building, I was like, I know 0 people right now in the last like 5 years who have gotten a legitimate job from Indeed. If there's somebody that's different, let me know. But like, it just feels like so, like, we're noticing like the crumbling, similar exactly to what your dream kind of was saying, EB. Like,